Good morning, ninjas. Good morning. How are you? Is it Roseo? Rosio. Am I pronouncing that correctly at all? Rosio. Good morning. Good morning, Mary. I haven't seen you in forever. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Collins. How are you today? Oh, I know. I don't know that this is going to be a super exciting live. You know what, Mary? I have been working my butt off, and I have so many things going on. To be honest with you, I only have about an hour to 2 hours a day to actually watch videos, and I watch as many as I can. But I've been on YouTube for 4 years, so I'm following like 200 people, 300 people. I think it says I am subscribed to 800 channels. But I have about 20 that I watch no matter what, and then I have another 20 that I catch them every moment that I can. But the reality is that if you only have 2 hours a day for YouTube, and if you're following 10 people, the very most you could dedicate would be 12 minutes to each of those 10 people, right? That's 120 minutes. So I do the best I can. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It definitely helps my videos. And I want to thank you for all of your love and support. My dogs are going off in the backyard. It's okay. They're not used to being out during the daytime when, there's activity. Okay, so I'm in a better frame of mind today. Let me just tell you that. I was able to think about ways that I could combat this weight loss stall yesterday, but thank you. I was in such a negative space. I'll show you guys my outfit. I'm going to see my dad. I haven't seen my dad since his birthday in January. I don't know if you guys be able to see me. Oh, no, I'm going to have to take you in the living room. But anyway, I haven't seen my dad since January. And since his birthday, and I also think I need to clean my lens, huh? I don't know if I can get you guys high enough where you can actually see my outfit. Okay, let me back up. But this is the most important part of the outfit, my new kicks. These are my new kicks. I got those for $12, and they look like the old Converse. I love them. They're called Department 222. I'm a shoe freak. So in case you don't know. But apparently when you lose weight, you lose fat on your feet, and half my shoes don't fit anymore. So I've been finding that my shoes are very loose. Thank you. I've also been watching, off subject. I've also been watching Michelle from Tennessee. She's been going all natural. And although I love my hairdresser and I love the job that she does with the highlights and the frosting in my hair, I don't know if you know this about me because you guys never see the back of my head. But even my hairdresser says it's the strangest thing she's ever seen. About 4 years ago, I've been going to the same hairdresser forever. And I'm like, I think I'm going gray. And she's like, oh, I see a few. When I started going gray, it was like over freaking night. Here's the weird part. Most people will kind of go gray through their bangs, through their hairlines, some in the sideburns. No. I am going gray. So like the back of my head from about the crown all the way down. Bye, Mary. Have a good day. The crown of my head all the way down is about 50% gray. I'm like salt and pepper. But the front is only about 20% gray. So it looks really crazy. Thank you. I'm going to see my dad. So my hair looks really crazy, but Michelle from Tennessee is growing her hair out. Like all natural, no dye, and it is beautiful. It looks gorgeous. I don't think she has any idea how gorgeous she is. I am doing a bulletproof coffee today only because my dad has this. Look, I'm not talking bad about my dad. I love my father. But he likes this little diner by his house that serves the crappiest foods. And I have a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive round trip to go see him. So it is very likely that I won't be back here tonight until 5, 6 o'clock at night. And more than likely, I'm just going to have a salad. Hi, Juanita. Good morning. Good morning. So this bulletproof coffee has got 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of MCT oil, a sprinkle of natural cinnamon with cinnamon oil. Let me show you my favorite cinnamon. And I'm telling you, if you guys can find this stuff, you're going to be like sending me virtual hugs. You're going to be like, Melanie, I love you for introducing the cinnamon. Hold on. I know they carry this online. And I know this is backwards, but it is Frontier Co-op, organic I can't say it. Vietnamese. Oh, we're having coffee. It's so great. You know what? I tell people the craziest thing about YouTube is and social media. There are people that are accessible to me. There are people that are in my immediate like travel path. There are people that don't want anything to do with me. As a matter of fact, I got to tell you something kind of sad that happened yesterday that really sparked. Oh, you can see it? That's awesome. But this is cinnamon and it's made with 5% cinnamon oil. And the first thing you notice when you open it, that is the nicest smelling cinnamon I've ever. It's like an orangey cinnamon. It's just like this really clean, crisp smell. I love it. But anyway, look for it. It's all organic. There's no fillers. There's no artificial anything in here. This is straight up cinnamon with cinnamon oil. And it has the most, I am a big smell person. Like okay, so I'm a bit of a foodie when it comes to food. I enjoy the texture, the taste, the way that it feels when you're chewing it. I enjoy the entire experience of food. And so this cinnamon is amazing. I got to try that chocolate collagen. I've heard it's really good. Okay, so let me tell you what happened that put me kind of in a sad mood. So I've worked at the same place for 20 years. I've worked in the same department for about 9 years. Hey, Lloyd. And most of the time when somebody leaves and they're going to be gone for a while, everybody's like, bye, enjoy your vacation. Only 2 people are like, hey, see you in a week. I know that's such a stupid thing to be upset about, but it's like you would think working with someone for, every day, 9, 10 hours a day, that you would like miss them when they're gone. I just started I don't know. I was feeling anxiety. I was already feeling low yesterday. And I focused on that to be a reason to hate myself. It doesn't take much for that fat girl in my head to just start destroying me. So I was feeling a little down yesterday. And I even told my husband when I came home, I was like, sometimes it just feels like if I disappeared off the face of this earth, no one would miss me. Like it would be weeks before anyone would even look. And that's how it That's how it felt. I know that's not reality. That's how it felt. So you guys know I do suffer from depression and I do suffer from anxiety, very high anxiety. I mean, my daughter even told you that. I suffer from massive anxiety. But I'm not pushing religion. I believe in God, and every day I just have to give it to Jesus Christ and trust that He's going to figure it out for me, you know? Anyway, so let's talk about the options that I have to break this stall. And I will tell you, oh, thank you. Thank you, Heidi. Hello, new person. Hi, Heidi. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about the research I did first. So on its face, what do we know? We know that I've hit 3 long-term weight loss stalls in 1 year. I'm not talking about a couple days. I'm not talking about a couple weeks. I'm talking, when I say long-term, I'm talking 2 months or longer. So you guys remember back in October, I hit a 7-week stall. Around January, I hit an 8-week stall. And now here I am back again, and I'm working on 9 weeks without a weight loss. Without a weight loss. This time, the stall is even more detrimental because there's no fat loss either. Back in April, the entire month of April, I did a strict, yes, Collins, I know we talked about that. So in April, I followed a very strict protocol, and I was so proud of myself. I did 27 out of 30 days with no keto sweets, no keto treats. Everything was clean, less than 10% processed foods. I nailed my calories, 1700 or less, 1700 or less. And you guys know I work out, right? I work out. So anyway, I didn't lose anything for the month of April, but that's not a legitimate stall because I lost 3 inches. So every once in a while, you're going to take off some weight, but your body's going to recompose. You may not be able to see the weight on the scale under your feet, but you could definitely see it, feel it in your clothes. I actually, since January 1st, I've only lost 7 pounds, but I've lost almost 5 inches. 5 inches for 7 pounds is pretty substantial. I've lost a pant size, even though the scale hasn't moved. And I can tell you that I've had more compliments this last 2 months, people saying, oh my gosh, you have lost some weight. I've had more verbal feedback from coworkers, from friends, from family members this last couple months than I have my entire journey. You know, my entire journey. I'm getting a lot of compliments now. So I consider this a weight loss stall because number one, it's been 9 weeks since the scale has moved. It's been 3 weeks since I've lost any inches. So now I'm almost into 1 month without any inches being lost. When I do my measurements, I do my bust, I do my rib cage just under my bust, I do my waist, my hips, and my thighs, right? So I could possibly be losing inches somewhere else on my body and not be aware. So I have some things to consider, and I'm going to write this down because if I don't, I'm going to end up repeating myself. You know, that's funny that you said that because I used to make mixed drinks in this. Yeah, I was a bartender for about 2 years, Lloyd. 3 years, a bartender, and I can mix some mean mixed drinks. I love a Mason cup. Love them. Okay, so normal weight loss. Let's talk about normal weight loss. There is no such thing. Throw it away. Throw it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Okay, right? I love that song. Okay, so normal weight loss. Throw that conception. Throw that theory away. Here's why. If you have a 400-pound woman and a 200-pound woman, they are not going to lose weight at the same rate. Why? Number one, because their body fat percentage, 400 pounds, is much higher than the 200 pounds. But wait, that's not all. I want to use this as an example, okay? So, Joni, I'm sorry I'm using you as an example. Joni from Keto Diamond, she's only like 5 foot and a couple finger lengths. I don't know. She's like 5 foot something tall. I know she said it. I think 5'2" or 5'1". I'm almost 5'6", right? So I'm average. I'm an average, a little above average height. Also, Joni and I are proportioned much differently. We're only 4 pounds apart. Joni and I only weigh 5 pounds difference, but she's in a size 11 and I'm in a size 14. We only weigh 4 or 5 pounds difference, but her legs are much smaller. Her hips are much narrower than mine. You know, we carry our weight in different places. Where we carry our fat is just as important as how quickly we will lose that type of fat. The other difference in our journey is that I am 10 years older and I'm already in menopause where Joni is still menstruating. Her body composition, just based on biology, is going to be different than mine. Metabolically, too, is going to pose some problems. I have metabolic syndrome. I have PCOS. I am a type 2 diabetic. So I have some other factors going on. But when we talk about weight loss, just fat loss, they're two different things between a weight loss stall and a fat loss stall. And I can say that for the last 3 weeks, my fat loss is stalled because I haven't lost any inches since I did my anniversary video 3 weeks ago. I have not lost any inches. But now I'm at a weight loss. So the first thing I do is I ask myself, have I logged everything I've eaten? Yes. I'm not one of these people that log my stuff and then say, oh, and by the way, I also ate this, and this. When you see my macros, that's everything that I have put in my mouth for that day. Now, do I carry a scale around with me to measure my food? No, I don't. Sometimes I eyeball it, just like I do my seasonings and my foods. Sometimes that little circle in my hand, I know that's about a quarter of a cup or 2 tablespoons or whatever. So yes, I could have some creepy carbs here and there, but the fact that I count total carbs and I'm almost always under 20 total carbs, even if I had an extra carb at lunch, an extra carb at dinner, I don't really believe that that would be enough to impact my weight loss or cause a weight loss stall. The second thing that I have to ask myself, okay, once I've said, Melanie, are you tracking everything you're eating? Are you being honest with yourself about how much, your portion size? If those two questions, if I can answer them honestly, yes, I'm measuring, I'm tracking, then I have to ask myself, how much of what you're eating is a processed food, unhealthy processed? Like, how many extra ingredients are you eating? And do you really know what those natural flavors means when it comes to what they're adding to their food? So then I start looking at, I'm going to use round numbers because it's easier. So if I'm eating 2,000 calories a day and 200 calories of that is processed foods, like crap foods. You guys know what I'm talking about, prepackaged crap food. If 200 calories out of 2,000 calories is crap food, then I can say 10% of my nutrition is processed food. If 10% is all the processed, and the reason I'm using this number is because typically my calories are between 15 and 1,700. Typically my processed calories are somewhere around 100 to 150 a day, which puts me in about that 10% of my daily caloric intake is from a processed food source. But then you have to strip it down and say, okay, so 10% of your daily is crap food. How bad is that crap, right? Is it Is it like 15 ingredients? Are you having to break out a calculator to figure out the carbs on this one? Are you saying, well, there's 23 grams of sugar alcohol divided by 2 because you're supposed to just to have the sugar alcohols because some of them may affect you if it's over so many grams. If you're having to justify a nutrition label to fit it into your macros, that might be a problem. But since the biggest processed foods that I usually do are like the cheese crisps or string cheese, all natural, or olives. You guys remember the conversation about the prepackaged olives, right? Pickles are technically a processed food because they were cucumbers and we turned them into pickles and we added ingredients to change the food from its original content. So technically pickles would be a processed food, but that's what I'm saying. The difference, sorry, my nose itches and I'm trying not to sneeze. So it would be the difference between me saying, okay, I eat a pickle every day and I eat a Quest bar every day. I guarantee if you compare the ingredients list, two totally different monsters. So now you've asked yourself, what am I eating? How much am I eating? Am I eating clean? How much of my processed food could be impacting my journey? If you've answered, okay, I'm not doing bad in all of those categories, then you have to ask yourself, has there been anything new that I've added to my diet since the last time I remember consistently losing weight? And the crazy thing is that my journey, I'm not talking about anyone else. My journey, I've noticed that if you compare what I was doing my first 6 months on keto, where I was averaging 2 pounds a month, versus now, I am 50% cleaner keto than I was then. I was eating avocados every day. I was doing I was doing net carbs. My calories were 1,800, 2,000 calories a day. And now I'm even stricter because every time I've hit one of these stalls, I'm like, okay, what do I need to take out? What do I need to take out? Now you're seeing a bulletproof coffee today, but I can tell you this is the first bulletproof coffee that I've drank in 2 weeks. And back to April. So around April 1st is when my weight loss stall began. For the entire month of April, I had 3 days of keto sweets. So I know 100% without a shadow of a doubt, because I lost 0 weight in the month of April. 0 weight. I did lose 2 inches, but I also did really great on my calorie deficits, and I exercised like a freak. I don't think it's keto sweets that's kicking me out or keeping me from losing weight. I'm very careful when I say keto sweets. So I have a Zip Fizz every day, and that's my one keto sweet. I try to drink that in the afternoon after I've eaten so that my body doesn't absorb all of that sucralose. But I know sucralose is not the best sweetener for you, but it doesn't impact. So I've tested my blood glucose at 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and 6 hours. Yes, ma'am, I love Zip Fizz. So I've done on 3 different days. You guys know I've been eating the same thing for lunch every single day. So every single day I've been testing my blood sugar an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and even 6 hours after I've drank that Zip Fizz. And my blood glucose is not changing. I mean, by 3 or 4 points, but it's not changing. And my ketones are staying the same. Even though I've consumed lunch, they're staying the same. So I don't think it's impacting. It could be causing an insulin response, but I just ate lunch. So my insulin response would probably be about the same. And so what I'm saying is that a lot of people, they see the Zip Fizz and they're like, you're not doing clean keto, you're drinking Zip Fizz. Okay, number one, I'm doing it because I love the taste of it. It's like bubbly, high-C fruit punch. Number two, it's my electrolytes. I live in Florida where the temperatures get really hot, and I have a job. Yes, I have a job where I work outside in the heat. I sweat. I need those electrolytes. Also, I've been finding that around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm hitting this lull, like no energy. So I'm using it a little bit for energy. So, okay, so I've checked to make sure I am measuring and logging. I've checked the ingredient labels to make sure that I'm eating as clean as possible and that the processed foods are less than 10%. I'm making notes here so I don't repeat myself. I'm checking my calories. Reasonably saying, oh, I love it. If you go to my Facebook, I think we're friends on Facebook, Collins. If you go to my Facebook and you send me a private message, I'll mail you a tube. I'll mail you a tube so you can try it. I got a 20 pack over there. I'm like one of their VIPs. I actually am thinking about becoming an ambassador. There's a way to become an ambassador. But yeah, if you message me, Collins, I will send it to you. I'll send you a tube, a sample. Okay, so checking my calories. Am I overeating my calories? So no. So all of these things that say, okay, what is causing your stall? Could it be something you've added in? Could it be processed foods? Could it be the calories you're eating? So then we have to go on a biological and say, okay, I'm almost 50 years old and I am fully menopausal. So that means that I could have a little bit more insulin resistance. That could mean that hormonally my metabolism is slowing down. That could mean that my body could be going through some stress that I have no control over, the lack of estrogen. It could be a hormone deficiency. So I have to take into consideration. Good morning, Miss Nona. I have to take into consideration that my age could be a huge factor in the rate that I lose weight. The next thing I have to look at, specifically because I'm keto, and I'm actually more carnivore than I am keto because typically my total carbs are less than 10, less than 15. My carbs are very low. So I have to look at, okay, the stricter I've become on keto and the more strict I've become on veg in my diet, thinking that was the reason I wasn't losing weight quickly, the harder I've made things for my body because I don't have a gallbladder. So it's a known fact that if you have your gallbladder removed, that a high-fat diet, your body may not be able to dissolve the fat that you're eating, which means that you're not going to get the nutrient absorption, which means that from a nutrition standpoint, you could be starving even though you're eating an adequate amount of food. So there's a couple different approaches. Now, I watched Dr. Eric Berg. I watched Dr. Barry. I watched nurse, oh, help me, Cindy. And I watched DeLauer, Hottie McPants. What is his name? Oh gosh, he's so gorgeous. Help me out. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. Thomas. Yes. Ladies, please. Okay, so I listened to Mr. DeLauer. Hottie McPants. Yes. Holy crap. Anyway, okay, I have completely... I'm 50, I'm not dead. Anyway, wow. On that note, let me just get a little bit of bulletproof coffee in me. I have got to go wipe my nose. I'm sorry. I'm like itching. I'll be right back. That was a perfect intermission, wasn't it? That was the perfect intermission. I needed a break from Hottie McPants. Whew. Okay, focus, Melanie. All right, so I watched, it was painful, but I watched his entire video about gallbladder. And I gotta tell you, between doctors or Nurse Cindy and Thomas DeLauer, they gave me some hope and they gave me some ideas. So my first idea is, what if I don't change anything right now? What if I add an enzyme supplement? So that's the first thing that I can try. Add an enzyme supplement to my diet to help my body, because my body, a bile enzyme. So I could add ox bile, which is a bile enzyme, and it's the same enzyme that your gallbladder produces to help break down meats and help break down fats. This could be why I consistently, since the very beginning, I have struggled with constipation. I take 2 full tablespoons of magnesium citrate every night. And if I don't, I can't poop. I just can't poop. That's just my life, right? So because I'm having symptoms of keto without a gallbladder, that might be something to start with. Like, okay, let's do everything I'm doing right now. Don't change anything, and add ox bile into my diet and see if the scale starts moving. And if the scale starts moving and the inches start moving, then I know I can start looking at, okay, it is my gallbladder that's actually stalling my weight. The next thing I can do with a more natural approach is I can add now artichokes. Yes, I love Dr. Boz. Now, artichokes are full of, they have something in them that promotes the bile process. So DeLauer said that if you eat a couple of artichoke petals before you break your fast, before you eat a high fatty meal, see, stop getting me talk about Thomas again. Goodness. Okay, this is a professional space, right? Okay, so all right, so he said if you eat a couple artichoke petals about an hour before a meal, a fatty meal, that the artichoke petals specifically will cause your body, because everything you put in your body signals your body to react in a certain way. Different foods create different hormone circumstances. So he said if you eat these artichoke petals, it causes your liver to go ahead and start producing bile. So you have some bile in there. And because I don't have a gallbladder, my liver, there's no backup. So basically the gallbladder stores the bile. So let's say my body produces too much bile, all right? Because I don't have a gallbladder, I have nowhere to store that bile. So that bile is just going to be flushed out when I use the restroom, right? No harm, no foul. It's just going to leave my body. But what that creates is an environment where my liver is constantly trying to create bile. This could be creating some stress within my body. The other thing that was talked about was soluble fiber with every meal. Now, here's where they might be onto something. The first year of keto, my average weight loss was about 2 1/3 pounds per month. This year, it's now a pound a month or less. So what is different between when I first started keto and now? I've gotten 50 times stricter. I've cut out avocados because I'm watching my total carbs. I've cut out celery because I'm watching total carbs. All of these soluble fibrous foods that can actually slow the digestion process down and give my liver more time to create bile. Also, intermittent fasting could actually be a detriment to it if it's if it's my lack of gallbladder that's causing this weight loss stall, it could be the fact that when I'm eating my first meal, I'm consuming so much fat at one sitting, my body's like, no. This might be why I gave up intermittent fasting for an entire month and I started my day with a bulletproof coffee. This might be why I was way more comfortable. I had far less bathroom issues because of the fact that instead of sitting down and eating 600 calories of fat in one meal, I was actually doing 200 calories, and then at lunch another 300 calories, and then at dinner another 300 calories. So I can be very conscientious about how much fat I'm eating. So I could either order the ox bile, change absolutely nothing, and just add that and see if things happen. Or I can take a more natural and holistic approach without having to be dependent on a $40 a month additive to my diet. And I could say, okay, well, I need to make sure that I am packing a fibrous vegetable with every meal to slow down my digestion process and give my body more time to digest the fats and the proteins. I can reduce the fat. So right now, my average fat consumption is somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 130 grams of fat a day. Maybe I need to scale that back just about 20 grams a day. Maybe I need to shoot for 80 to 90 grams of fat a day. Maybe I need to be more protein focused and less fat focused. Maybe my keto journey, because of the lack of gallbladder, needs to be a moderate protein, moderate fat, and low carb. So that's going to change my ratios up a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit challenging because now I'm going to be balancing total carbs. So I'm definitely, yes, Collins. I believe that too. With all of the research that I'm doing about keto without a gallbladder, carnivore without a gallbladder, so I'm going to tackle this in phases. But what I was saying is that number one, so if you're in a long-term stall, number one, you have to be realistic and say, how old am I? How old am I? Am I in menopause? Am I going through a change in life? Am I a male that's over 40? Has my testosterone slowed down? Am I having problems with ED, which can indicate testosterone issues? You have to ask yourself, you can't compare yourself to other people, because once again, if I compared my journey to Joni's journey, I think Joni is amazing. I love her. I think that she's inspiring so many people. So many people relate to her. She was one of the first keto YouTubers I ever found, and I have been faithfully watching her. I don't think I've missed one single video, not one, since I started watching her. And I watch all of her videos. So she keeps me inspired. So please don't take this in any wrong way. But if I were to compare my journey to Joni's, I would quit. Because I'd be like, how is she eating all of those calories? Because she eats between 1,700 and 2,000. I mean, lately she's been low. But mostly she eats about 1,700 to 2,000 calories, and she's just steady losing. And it's not because she has more fat to lose than I do, because she's in a size 11 and I'm in a size 14. So obviously she doesn't have, her body composition is much different than I am. You know, we're different people, but I watch the foods that she eats, and then she's losing. I was happy to see you when I hopped on after returning from my walk. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm still here running my chat. I don't ever do live videos anymore. I don't. I do have to leave here in about 15 minutes to go see my dad. It's almost a 2-hour drive, especially being a Memorial weekend. My dad lives off of 19 that goes down to like Clearwater, St. Pete Beach. Yeah. So he's like on one of the main roads that go down to the beaches. So it's going to be quite busy. Hey, how are you today? But anyway, so to summarize the live video, And a lot of people are going to be very angry about the things I'm going to say because they get defensive. People on keto, even myself, tend to get defensive when you say, well, maybe because you're eating that, maybe that's why you're not losing weight. I know myself, I get very sensitive sometimes. So look, I'm not trying to attack your journey. You got to do what you got to do to live the life that you're living, eat the foods that you can afford, right? I'm not up here preaching grass fed. I'm not up here preaching you got to be totally clean. You can never have a treat. You'll never hear me do that. And ever since I watched Keto Mama give her Rebel ice cream review, I got to admit, every time I go to the store, it's a fight not to buy it. That Rebel ice cream, that peanut butter fudge is freaking amazing. It is amazing. My problem is self-control with that. I can't buy it because of my self-control. I pick up the pint and I'm like, I'm going to eat just half of this. It's cool. I'll still make my total carbs. I'll be fine. Blah, 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 blah. And then 15 minutes later, I'm scraping the bottom and pulling apart the seam so I can lick the damn pint. And I'm like, I don't need that negativity in my life. Oh, I know. Isn't it crazy, Collins? It's crazy. So a lot of people might get upset, but if you've watched my channel long enough, you know that I'm not demeaning. I'm not being harsh, critical, or anything, but I am a very speak from the heart and factual person. If you're in a stall, ask yourself honestly, what percentage of my total calories is clean keto? Clean. You're right, Tammy. And that's sometimes what I do, and it triggers a lot of bad things in my head. I'll be like, how is she eating? She doesn't exercise. She's eating 1,700 calories, blah, 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 blah. Here I am eating 1,500 calories. I'm walking 3 miles every day. I'm exercising. I'm doing planks. And yeah, so it's a slippery slope for me. And mentally, it's just healthier for me to just embrace my own journey. So I'm going to be the no gallbladder, menopausal, turtle losing keto lady. That's what I'm going to be. Yeah. I guess for me with the Rebel ice cream, the resolve that I've made with myself is that when I want it, I need to just make sure that I'm not planning on eating any carbs the rest of the day because I know I can't control myself. I'm just going to go to the store. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to eat it. And then I'm only going to buy one. I don't care if it's buy one, get one free. I'm only going to buy one. I'm going to come home. And then the rest of the day, I'm either going to fast or I'm going to do protein or whatever. But I'm not. But I ate it and I had a weight loss the next day. So I was like, maybe that's the trick. Maybe I need to eat ice cream every day. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Okay. So let's review because I do have to leave in a couple minutes. I have a long drive down to see my fascia. My stomach fought back. Really? I didn't. Normally, I have problems. My husband, he can't have artificial sugars because he suffers from serious migraines and he's just so afraid. So, Rosio, if you do try it, here's what I would recommend. When it's frozen solid, cut it in half. Cut the whole carton. Don't open it. Don't lick your fingers. Don't do anything. Cut it in half and put one half in a Ziploc bag and throw it in your freezer and tell yourself, put a sticky note on it. Do not eat this today. Right? And then eat the other half. You'll be fine. Okay, so let me wrap this up. And if you do, the great thing is that it only has like 7 or 8 net carbs per container. So if you were to totally blow it, what you could do is get the mindset that this is my cheat day and you could eat the whole thing and you're still not doing any horrible damage because of the fat. Did you guys see my blood glucose the first time I tried Rebel? When I tested my blood glucose before I ate it, it was 85. And an hour after I ate it, it was 70 something. And then an hour after that, it was 60 something. So it did not raise my blood glucose, and my ketones were through the roof. So it did not impact my blood sugar. All right. So let's get down to the thing. So first, you're in a stall. This takes self-honesty and self-discipline. You have to say, am I measuring? Am I eyeballing stuff? Am I guessing stuff? Am I logging stuff? Because your body will get used to, good morning. I haven't seen you around in a while. Good morning. So your body could just be simply getting used to what you're feeding it. Your body's like, okay, she's eating 1,600 calories a day. There's no starvation. She seems to be okay, right? And so it gets used to that. So you're no longer burning calories. Now the only choice you have is to lower your calories to get your metabolism going again, or you could try reverse dieting. But reverse dieting is a very slow process. It's a very methodical process. It's a very disciplined process. And you could end up gaining 2 or 3 pounds before you actually start losing again. And a lot of people, it's a slippery slope. And once they start reverse dieting, they never come back. So just be careful with that. Well, thank you for coming. So ask yourself, are you measuring? Are you weighing? And are you logging your food? If the answer to that is yes, then take a look and say, okay, out of what I'm eating, how much of a percentage, remember what I said, so if you're eating 2,000 calories and 200 calories of that is processed food, then you're already at 10%. And some of you may be looking at 200 calories of processed foods, not a big deal. But if you're only eating 1,500 calories, how much is 200 calories? If you're only eating 1,200 calories, how much is 200 calories of that? The percentage goes up greatly, right? So ask yourself, how much of the processed foods, and do you really know what ingredients are? Are you being mindful of those nightshades, tomatoes, peppers, onions, things that could be causing your body to become inflamed? The next thing you have to do is break down yourself. Yes, I've been doing that from the very beginning, and for me, it's a control thing. It makes me feel like I'm in control, even though I'm not. I'm not in control. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, don't compare your journey to anyone else's, period. I can tell you that there's been 3 moments on my journey that I almost quit keto just because I wasn't losing weight as fast as the person I was watching on YouTube, and I felt so discouraged. I can be honest with you about that, but I haven't given up. Okay, so then ask yourself, what metabolically could be going? Okay, so your diet's clean, you're being accurate, you're measuring everything, you've evaluated the stress in your life, the sleep in your life, nothing really has changed. You then have to go biologically and say, okay, how old am I? You have to ask yourself, do I have a gallbladder? Am I recovering from diabetes? Do I have a fatty liver? I mean, all of these things come into play. And you guys have watched me do this now for a year. And it has been constant, like I'll have some success and then I weight loss stall. And then I'll have some success and a weight loss stall. And I'll have some success and I have to fight through every one. But what I may have done by not being happy with 2.5 pounds a month of weight loss, I stripped out all the vegetables. And you remember one of my solutions for not having a gallbladder was making sure I had enough soluble fiber with the meal to slow down the digestion process. It also slows down the spike in insulin, and it also gives my body enough time to digest fats and proteins. So The one thing to understand and take away from this is that there are 100 reasons. Calories are not the reason you're fat. Get that through your head. Calories, repeat after me, everybody, one time. Calories are not the reason I'm fat. It is the hormonal and biological response to different food makeups, to different types of food, to different chemical processes. Your body does exactly what you tell it to do based on what you put in your mouth. The trick is that nobody is exactly the same. We all so one of the other reasons, and I'm so sorry I'm using Joni. I hope she's not mad at me. The other thing I want to just pose to you is that, so Joni, this is her first real diet. I mean, she tried some dieting just a couple months before keto, but she'd been overweight most of her life. And then this was her first diet. Keto was her first diet. She's losing weight. She's at about, what, a year and a half almost, and she's lost almost 130 pounds, right? 140 pounds maybe. But this was her first diet. You take someone like myself who started dieting when I was 12. By the time I was 25, 30, I had developed some very serious borderline eating disorders. By the time I was 30, I had started depriving, doing binge and purge. I had gone extreme low calorie, 800, 500 calories a day in an attempt to lose weight. I've done massive metabolic damage to my body. I've created all kinds of stress within my body. I've had gallbladder surgery. I've had hysterectomy surgery. I've had given birth, and there is a factual thing about oxidative stress. I can't say the word, but you look it up. And it's about how much stress your body has been through in your life. My body's been through a tremendous amount of stress. For years and years and years, I was sleep deprived. I was a single mom. There was a time in my life where I was a single mom. I worked 3 jobs. I got up at 4 a.m. and I didn't lay down until 11 o'clock at night. For the first 12 years of my daughter's life, I was a single mom and I worked 2 jobs. So I have put my body through hell, and I cannot be so unforgiving of what my body is doing now. I trained my body to be this way. My body wants nothing more than for me to survive and be healthy and be nourished, and it wants vitamins and it wants nutrients and it wants to feel fed and it wants to feel satisfied, and I have deprived it, and then I've overfed it, and then I've deprived it, and then I've overfed it, and I've done this. I have taught my body how to be weight loss resistant. I've done that. No one else has done that. I've done that. So I'm at a point now where there's days I'm not lying to you. Yesterday, twice I wanted to give up. I cried 3 or 4 times yesterday. I felt like a failure. I felt disappointed. I wanted to give up my YouTube channel. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. These people have got to think I am the biggest freaking fraud out there because I can't lose weight. These are the voices that were in my head yesterday. I was in a horrible negative space, but I continued to pray. I continued to give it to God, trusting that He's just going to put me. And you know what? I might be stalled right now. I'm going to talk. Look, some of you are going to be really mad that I'm talking about religion, but I'm sorry. I would not be here. He is my life, my love, my heart. He is my everything, and the reason that I'm here. But because I believe in the higher power that I call God, you call Him whatever you want to call Him, because I believe in my higher power, what if He's stalling me because He knows I'm strong enough that I won't quit? And what if it's that one video that I make out of pure desperation, pure frustration that reaches that one person that He wants to bless? What if my struggle is a blessing? What if my stall is is the focus somebody else needs to just keep going? What if my struggle is what makes one of you get up every day and say, look, Melanie hasn't quit. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I got to trust that he's just going to put me where he needs me, when he needs me, because everything is for his glory. Amen. Anyway, I've got a long drive ahead of me. Don't be discouraged. I'm going to start a series of keto videos called Keto with a Gallbladder Over 50. Where I'm going to start documenting in this beautiful journal that Sheena got me. In this beautiful journal, I'm going to start documenting all the different experiments that I'm doing. And I'm going to start a video playlist, Keto Without a Gallbladder Over 50. Yes. Yeah, you know what? I should just, every day I should be grateful that I have what I have. I mean, come on. I have a pacemaker. I have a machine in my chest keeping my heart beating. And sometimes I just get so in my own head about weight loss, weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. He does. Yes, Rocio. He does. He always, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. But anyway, so I hope if you've made it through this video, don't forget to go ahead and give the thumbs up. I know it's really easy to go to a live video and forget to do that, but it really helps my algorithm. On you too, Lloyd. Hey, so I wanted to tell you guys too, I'm going to figure out how to get my Teespring account attached to my YouTube account sometime this weekend, so you guys can go in and take a look at some of the merchandise that I have been designing. I've designed. I've got a Ninja Nation and I've got a Let's Ninja This store started. So I've got some products on Teespring called Let's Ninja This. And then I've got a couple that are hashtag Ninja Nation. So I can't wait to launch that. Anyway, I got a lot of big projects going on this weekend. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I drink my bulletproof coffee and talk about life and God. And that was great. That was great. So you don't need church walls to be in church, because he will put his word, he will convict the hearts, and he will put his word out and spread his message. I believe that. I'm walking, living proof of that. So anyway, all right. Well, I love you guys. I hope you have a very great day. I hope some of the tips, some of the things that I'm talking about, and go take a look at Thomas DeLauer if you're feeling bad. That'll change your day. Might make you a little randy. But it'll change your day. I'm a married woman. I shouldn't talk like that. I'll ask for forgiveness, but you made him so perfectly. You guys have a great day.